So we'll start with our prayers. We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Inhale deeply. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Good evening, everyone. My name is Venkat Pula. We are going to start this text called Upadesha Sara. So, if you are new, you can feel free to stop me at any time, ask any questions. You don't need to wait until the end. Okay, so that is one of the things that we can definitely do in these sessions. Okay, and when we are starting this Upadesha Sara, I have shared the links to story of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi ji, the life history of Ramana Maharshi ji, and I also have shared a couple of documentaries which are available on YouTube. If you don't have those links, text me afterwards and I'll send you, or maybe you can Google on YouTube. Because I may not be able to do justice on telling the story of Ramana Maharshi ji as well as that is documented in those websites or on the YouTube links, right? So today, but that said, right? The text is written by Ramana Maharshi ji, so we need to understand who this Ramana Maharshi is before we start the text. We need to understand the greatness of the teacher or the author of this text. Typically, for any seeker, when they're walking on the path of this wisdom or the Vedanta or trying to find themselves, they need some protection. They need some guidance. And that guidance and protection is given by the scriptures, the Shastra. So, until one reaches the truth, the Shastra or the scriptures become the umbrella for the seeker. But once the seeker realizes the eternal truth, his true nature, he becomes umbrella for scriptures, because scriptures can point to him and say, see, this person. Okay, he is a Jivan Mukta. He is a liberated one. And then Ramana Maharshi is one such rare individual, not in our lifetime, but during maybe our parents or their parents' lifetime, who is a Jivan Mukta Purusha. Okay. So, incidentally, Ramana Maharshi did not study any Shastra. As I said earlier, he validated the Shastra. Validate the Shastra means the scriptures say what is realization, what is mm, what happens to a realized Mahatma, all of the how to realize, all of this is described in our scriptures. And if you want to say, show me the proof, then the scriptures will point to him and say, here is a proof. Now, if Ramana Maharshi did not study any Shastra or any scriptures, how did he attain this status? So, the thing is that in our Hinduism, we do believe in rebirths. And by the time he has taken this birth, he has finished all his studies and he was ready for liberation. Now, the only one, the only thing that happened is that, like the only book he has studied is something called Periya Puranam. So, Ramana Maharshi is from Tamil Nadu, and so there is a text called Periya Puranam, which is about life of 63 saints in Tamil. So that is the only book he has studied before a realization. So his life was not very prior to taking the sannyasa. It is not much uh, remarkable other than a couple of incidents. Once one of his relatives came from out of town, and Ramana Maharshi ji, at that time he was born as Venkatramana. So he asked this relative, where did he come from? And the relative mentioned that I came from Arunachalam. As soon as he heard the word Arunachalam, immediately there's a huge change and a connection for him with Arunachalam. It is almost like if you see um, modern, like any movies, right? Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, whichever, which talks about like rebirths. As soon as they hear something about the previous birth, suddenly there's a change in the hero or heroine or the character, and they remember something. It almost like that. Okay, so it's something similar happened to Ramana Maharshi ji. Then one major incident that happened, which is very worth discussing in our session, is that he was about 17 years old and there was nothing, everything is fine. He was actually considered like a very strong child, and nobody would dare to mm, do any pranks. The only weakness for him was that when he goes to deep sleep, he is such a great sleeper that if someone actually ties him and takes him out or anything like that, right, he wouldn't even wake up at all. So apparently all pranks on him were played when he was sleeping. So but otherwise, like he was very strong and very healthy. So he was sitting in the room, and suddenly there is a fear took over him greatly. And that fear was that I am going to die. Nothing wrong physically, nothing wrong mentally. And then he was so afraid. And then finally he decided, okay, I'm going to die. So what does it mean? If I'm going to die, that means that this body is going to die. And then what he did is that he actually dramatized his death. So he just lied down flat on ground as if a dead body, and he closed his mouth like that, and he he basically faked his own death in a way, right? In terms of physically, like he was lying down and said, "Okay, I am dead. Now my body is being taken to a funeral pyre. My body is burnt. Now, where am I? I am still here. So who am I?" So then he, like that, like the in this kind of a thought process, he realized that I, meaning that when he says I, his I is different from the body. Body dies, but this I doesn't die. And this I, which is independent of the body, is real me. This is the conclusion that he came to. Now, all of this did not happen in 10 minutes after of thinking or 30 minutes of thinking like that. Rather, all of that happened in an instant, okay, like a flash. And after that, he woke up. When he woke up, this thought of I as the one who is beyond this body stayed with him always. And he could not get over it. And he was always in meditation. So one day his brother, actually like because of this, he could not focus on his studies also. The teacher gave him an assignment as a punishment. Okay, you need to do this, this, this. And halfway through, he went into meditation. And when his older brother saw him, he was yelling at him, saying like, yeah, for you, does this work for you? Like that, meaning, does this work for you means like, it was in more a condescending way, right? For an idiot like you, if such a great work is given, how can you do this kind of work? But obviously, for it can also be understood in a different way. For a great person like you, what kind of use is this kind of day-to-day work, right? So he immediately realized that, okay, this life is not for me, as in like this day-to-day life, this is useless. And he heard that name Arunachalam remained his heart. So he head off to Arunachalam, and there he became a saint. There's a lot of story. I feel like in the web link that I sent you, this entire story is beautifully documented. And once he went to Arunachalam, he was there, he was meditating, and he did not speak. He did not speak for 11 years. In between, his mom, he was, he started getting, like people started thinking that he's a great Mahatma, and people started coming to him. And even his mom came to pursue him to come back, but he did not go back. So then his mom went back, and then later on, his mom realized that it is worth to be with his son, with her son, as a monk. So she left her grihastha ashrama, meaning like a family ties. And in fact, like one of his younger brothers, who was also a widower, he also came. They both came and they stayed with him as monks, okay, not as friends or family. Okay, so they did not have any family preference or anything like that. But for 11 years, he did not speak in all of this while all of this is going on. Then a change of scene has occurred. There's a gentleman named Ganapati. And this Ganapati was an extremely intelligent student. He is extremely bright, and he was a Sanskritam scholar. And with his scholarly uh, pursuits, he has achieved one of the greatest titles of that time from Calcutta called Kavya Kantha, meaning within his throat there is Kavya. Kavya means poetry. So poetry is there within his throat. Kavya Kantha Ganapati, and also Muni is also given that name Muni also. So he is usually known as Ganapati Muni. So it is nothing with Ganesh Bhagwan. Okay, so it is his name is Ganapati Muni. So when he was also a seeker, he was so when he came, he saw Ramana Maharshi ji, and he said, I studied whatever Vedanta I needed to study. I read whatever I had to read. I did my japa, I did my puja, I did my sadhana, all of that. But I don't understand what is this tapas or anything like that. Please help me. So that is when Ramana Maharshi ji first time spoke after 11 years. And he said, if you watch where the notion of I is rising from, and let the mind absorbed in that thought I, and that is what tapas is. And then from that moment onwards, Ganapati Shastri ji, okay, he became the disciple of Ramana Maharshi ji, and he wrote several books, etc. Okay, he actually wrote something called as Ramana Gita. About Ramana Gita is, like Bhagavad Gita, etc. In the same way, Ramana Gita, where the Gita, meaning the sayings of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi ji, he wrote in poetry, and he called it as Ramana Gita. Now, Then this is one. Actually, like there's another text by Ramana Maharshi ji, which is called as Saddarshanam. This Saddarshanam is again Ramana Maharshi ji wrote it in some Tamil, and Ganapati Muni translated it into Sanskritam. Whereas Upadesha Sara is written by Ramana Maharshi ji, both in Tamil and later translated by him into Sanskritam. Now, Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni, he is a scholar. So, because of his scholarly writing, Saddarshanam is very hard to read, and also the topic is also very difficult. Language is also very tough. Whereas Upadesha Sara is written by, even in Sanskritam, is written by Ramana Maharshi ji. So the language is very simple and easy and sweet, but lot of depth. Okay. Now, right around the same time, there was a great Tamil scholar called Muruganar. He was in Ramana ashram and he was translating Shiva Puranam from Sanskritam into Tamil. Okay. Now, when he is translating Shiva Puranam into Tamil, he came to a spot and he got stuck. Okay. When what happened is, here is the story. Okay. So when he got stuck, he asked for help from Ramana Maharshi ji, and Ramana Maharshi ji helped, and that became Upadesha Sara. So Shiva Puranam, Purana is, there are a lot of stories in Purana, right? So it so happened, now what is the story in Purana? He translated is this. There was a forest named Daruka Vana. Okay, it is named, Vana is a forest, right? So that every forest has got a name. In this particular case, this forest name is Daruka. So it is Daruka Vana. In there were some tapaswins are there, meaning rishis are there, and they are doing puja and tapas on a regular basis. And they have given too much importance to performing karma. Karma means simple meaning is action. But in Vedanta, in Vedic literature, karma also has got another meaning, which is performing certain rituals because of which you gain certain results. Okay. Say, for example, you do a yajna. Okay, that's a Vedic karma. You perform a yajna, like, so for example, think about Dharmaraja from Mahabharata. He did Ashwamedha Yaga, and then it will give certain results. Then Dasharatha, father of Lord Sri Rama in Ramayana, he did Putra Kameshti Yajna, and it has given certain results. So every yajna gives certain results. Some results in this lifetime, some results in a different domain, like such as Swarga, as in heaven, etc. Now, these tapasvis thought that by performing karma, we can get whatever results. Now, if you think about it, right? In our Puranas, what we say, a Rakshasa, like Ravanasura, he performs tapas, and Brahmaji appears and gives him whatever boons Ravana wants. Whether it's Ravana, whether it's Kumbhakarna, whether it is a Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, it doesn't matter. Why? Because they have done tapas, because they have performed action, a corresponding result must be given. This is the rule of law. Okay? So, if I am doing this action and I am getting results, what has God to do with it? Okay? Now, Brahmaji can Brahmaji say, hey, Ravana, your intentions are bad. I cannot give you this boon. I won't give you this boon. No, he cannot say that. As long as it is within the limits of Brahmaji to give that boon, he has to give. So, this kind of a philosophy, which is focused purely on karma, is called as Purva Mimamsa. Okay? This is and it is a valid philosophy. It is Purva Mimamsa. And but Vedanta is called as Uttara Mimamsa. So Purva Mimamsa means in our Vedas we have three sections. One is called Karma Kanda, then there is Upasana Kanda, and there is Jnana Kanda. So there is like three parts: Karma, Upasana, and Jnana. So this Karma and Upasana together is considered as Purva Mimamsa because you're doing karmas, rituals, as I just mentioned, or Upasanas. Either of them are giving results, and I'm performing action and I'm getting result. Okay. Whereas Uttara Mimamsa, which is Vedanta, is different. Okay. So these tapasvis are Urumimamsians and they are doing this prayer. Now, from God's perspective, from Lord Shiva's perspective, even though they are not doing tapas for him, they are good souls. Because they are good souls, they need to be educated. So, when they need to be educated, what does God do? Okay, He will do a leela, a maya. So, it so happened that now these people are doing prayer, okay, a upasana, okay, and upasana is like a yajna is being done. Now, when they are doing yajna, Lord Shiva took the form of a beautiful young monk. And he went there. Now imagine, prayers are being done. I mean, like, think about visualize this, okay? A yajnavatika is there, a yajnasthala. Now, usually men are the ones who are sitting around the yajnavatika and they are doing all the prayers, right? All the homa, etc., all the rituals are being performed. What is the role of women? They are supporting role. So they are standing little far away and flowers, they bring the flowers. Ghee, they bring the ghee. Like that, right? So they are standing little away. So this Lord Shiva went in the form of this handsome young monk and he deluded the wives of those rishis. And then all the women saw Lord Shiva and their heart overwhelmed with love at him and they want to serve him and they walked this side. Now, when Lord Shiva goes to do this, Lord Vishnu also was helping Lord Shiva. So what Lord Vishnu did? He took the form of Mohini. Mohini is the one who deluded all the Rakshasas at the time of distribution of Amrita, right? And even in the story of what was the Rakshasa? I forgot. Anyway, so then he took the form of Mohini, and then he went to these rishis. Now, all the rishis, they forgot, again, they were deluded, they forgot, because Mohini, Moha means delusion. Okay, so it's a deluding form. When they were all deluded, they forgot about their prayers and they started going behind Mohini. So Mohini went far away from the yajna, all rishis followed, and Vishnumurti disappeared. Then they suddenly remembered, what are we doing? We need to do puja. And they ran there. And where are their wives? Their wives are missing. Then they went to the ashram. Then they saw all the wives with Lord Shiva. And they got so angry. And they did now in yajna, you can do good yajna and bad yajna. The example of bad yajna is this bad yajna is called as abhichara. Okay? An example of this bad yajna is in Srimad Mahabhagavatam, where to kill Indra, a yajna is performed, and out of that, Vrutrasura Rakshasa is born. Okay, so that is called as, so that is a type of a bad yajna. So these guys know what that for every action they can get the result. So they did this abhichara, and from that they created a tiger to kill Lord Shiva. And also they created an elephant also, but Lord Shiva killed both of them. Then they sent fire and Trishula, etc. But they are no match for Lord Shiva. Okay, so now, I mean, you can, if you want to go further, you can imagine any battle scene from mythologies like Mahabharata, not mythology, sorry, Mahabharata or Ramayana. Okay, and that all that has happened. Then eventually they came to understand that this person, whoever, is much more powerful than them. So whatever actions that they have performed, that results is resultless. Now, they want to learn from Lord Shiva. What do they want to learn? Is we try to do tapas. I mean, like we did some tapas, and you overtook. I mean, like you overpowered all our tapas together, right? Individually. So that means you must have done some better karma than us. Because you did some better karma than us, why don't you teach those karmas? Okay, how to do better than this? So then Lord has taken compassion at them, and then he started teaching the Upadesha. Now, this Upadesha is the teachings of Lord Shiva to those tapasvis is what is Upadesha Sara, the essence of the Upadesha. Because Upadesha means teaching, Sara means essence. So this is the context of the text. Because when we start, the very first shloka doesn't say who is saying, to whom is it said, none of that would be there. So this is the context around the Upadesha Sara text. I'll pause here to see if any of you have any questions based on what you heard so far. So, we can proceed further. In praise of Ramana Maharshi ji, there is a shloka that I have shared with all of you in the WhatsApp in multiple languages that I could think of. I sent it in Devanagari, which means both Hindi and Sanskritam are covered, Telugu, Tamil, and English. These are the languages I sent in, and Kannada also, I think. So if you want in a different language, I can send it. This particular shloka, that which we are going to chant now, we'll chant every week in every class, okay, in the beginning of class. So I'll break down individual words and then you can repeat after me. Antaha, yaha, and cha becomes antaryascha. By the way, do everyone have this shloka in front of you, or do you want me to put it in the chat window? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
Can you put it in the chat window, please?
Yeah, please.
Which language do you want?
Anything is fine. Sanskrit is fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Hindi.
Devanagari is good. Yeah, thanks.
me do that. Give me a second. To chat. So this shloka that we are going to chant is actually in praise of Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. It is from one of the texts called Ramana Chaturvimshati. Okay, it's the 40 verses on Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. So Antaha, Yaha, and Cha together become Antaryascha. Antaryascha. Then Bahirvidhuta Timiram. So there are three words in there. Bahihi, Vidhuta, and Timiram. Together become Bahirvidhuta Timiram. Jyotihi and Mayam together becomes Jyotirmayam. Shashvatam, Sthanam, Prapya, Virajate, Vinamatam. Then Ajnanamunmulayan. So there is two words in there. Ajnanam and Unmulayan. Together becomes Ajnanamunmulayan. Then the next word is Pashyan Vishwamadpita Mullasati. Okay, that is Pashyan Vishwam Api Idam Ullasati. These five words are there. Pashyan Vishwam Api Ullasati. Okay, so that they have become Pashyan Vishwam Api Idam Ullasati. Yo. Actually, it is Yaha, but when it is there is a particular sandhis that go along. So because of that, yeah, that Yaha becomes Yo. Vishwasya Pare Paraha. Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha. That is the shloka. So maybe today, Shobhaji, can you go off mute and chant after me?
I can do that, but the question is, I need that shloka. I am not able to get it. The verse
Okay.
that you just said, I don't have it.
Okay.
Are you starting from the very first one?
No. Okay. So, Maha, can you chant?
Maha, please.
Okay. By the way, everyone can chant on mute. Okay. Antaryascha bahirvidhutatimiram
Antaryascha bahirvidutatimiram
Jyotirmayam Shashvatam
Jyotirmayam shashvatam
Sthanam Prapya Virajate Vinimatam
Sthanam prapya virajati vinimadam
Ajnanamunmulayan
Ajnana unmulayan
Pashyan Vishwamapidamullasatiyo
Pashyan vishwamapi idam ullasatiyo
Vishwasya Pare Paraha
Vishwasya pare paraha
Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave
Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave
Lokasya Hantre Namaha.
Shokasya Hantre Namaha.
This is in praise of Sri Ramana Maharshi. So now we will see the meaning of this shloka next session. So that way we have something for next class also. So now with after the prayers to Ramana Maharshi ji, we'll start this Upadesha Sara. Okay. Now, as far as this particular shloka is concerned, okay, or the shlokas are concerned, these are written in each shloka has got a different chandas. So some of them have got like a 10 lines, Some of them have got like 10 syllables per line. Some of them are 11 or 12 syllables per line, like that. Okay. But they're very simple and very easy to chant. Okay. So maybe Shobhaji, you may have this one. So maybe you can go off mute and repeat after me the first shloka of Upadesha Sara. कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम्. Can someone else go off mute and chant after me?
Okay. कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम्.
कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडम्.
कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडम्.
So this is the first shloka that he said. So kartuhu. Okay, so if I forgot to break down the words, because they're too simple. Kartuhu ajnaya becomes karturajnaya. Prapyate phalam. Karma kim param. Karma tajjadam is tat and jadam. It becomes tajjadam. Now, Upadesh Sara, from a Vedantic perspective, it is considered as Prakarana Grantha. Now, every Prakarana Grantha has got a different flavor for it. For example, if you take Tattva Bodha, it covers all the basics of Vedanta, but the style of Tattva Bodha is, it is almost like it is defining every aspect of Vedanta. Because it defined every aspect of Vedanta, sometimes it is considered as the dictionary of Vedantic terms. Now, Atma Bodha is also there. Atma Bodha, what is Atma Bodha focuses on? It focuses on the concepts. So to ensure the understanding of your concept is clear, for each of those concepts, it gives an example. So the differentiating factor of Atma Bodha is that it clarifies the concepts through examples. Now, this particular Prakarana Grantha, what it deals is that it deals with 4 different paths that we have, okay, for liberation. Typically, when we talk about moksha, we talk about karma marga, then bhakti marga, yoga marga, and jnana marga, 4 different paths. Now, Upadesha Sara talks comprehensively about all of those 4, but more on Vedanta than karma. Now, so this text right away is starting with karma marga. Okay. Now, so because every marga, every path has got a valid, like it has got a valid path and it has got a valid means. Now, from the story context perspective, what is the challenge that they are having? The challenge is they believe karma is superior. If karma is done, I don't need bhakti, I don't need jnana. That is the thought that they have. So Bhagwan, what does he need to deal with first is talking about the role of karma marga. Okay, it has got a value, it has got a limitation. So that value and limitation is what is being talked in this particular shloka. Now, also in if you have studied Tattva Bodha or Drishya Viveka, Atma Bodha, or any other Vedantic text, right? What you see is that one of the things that you see, the very first shloka is Mangalacharanam is there. And then after Mangalacharanam comes Anubandha Chatushtaya. Anubandha Chatushtaya is who is this book for, what is the result, okay, what is the connection, and all of those talk about Anubandha Chatushtaya. Mangalacharana is about praise to the guru or the teacher and all of that. Now, this Upadesha Sara is not a technically speaking, it is not an independent text, but it is part of a bigger text, right? The Shiva Puranam that is being translated into Tamil. So that is why you don't find Anubandha Chatushtaya or the relationship about the title of the content of the book, author of the, who is it for, those kind of Anubandha Chatushtaya is not there. And what about Mangala Charana or praise to teacher or whatever? Any book has to start with a uh, a divine invocation, right? So where is the divine invocation? Because you see, kartu agnya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tat jadam. There's no mention of any god in here. But what is that the word kartu itself is in this specific context, kartu itself is Ishvara. Okay, so that's how Ishvara's name is taken. Now, let us understand what is this book talking about. Okay. Now, if Karturagnyaya, Kartuhu Agnyaya, meaning there is Agnya. Agnya means what? Agnya means by someone's proclamation or by someone's command. Okay. By someone's command, something else comes. Okay. And who is this commander? Whose command? Okay. So the commander in this case is none other than the creator. Okay. So because creator is the creator as the Ishvara as the creator is Karta as a doer, because he has as creator the Ishvara has given capacity to perform action to us, because me as a jiva, I got capacity to do something because of Ishvara. How? Because he has given me life. If life was not given, I can't do anything. And how is this life possible? Life is possible because of the presence of consciousness. So I cannot be a karta, a doer, without taking this original karta into consideration. And the original karta is none other than Ishvara. Now, the thought is what? I perform action, I get result. What is the role of God in it? Okay, so God has nothing to do with, because I am the doer, I get the result. Now, think about this. If these people performing any action, like such as yajna, for example, they need bricks, they need fire, they need material. Who created this material? They didn't create it on their own. They didn't create themselves on their own. In my case, I may not be doing any yajna. Right? Okay. But I'm thinking that, okay, I'm doing a little bit office work. And when someone else takes credit, I get angry. How dare they to credit for my thing? Or when I have performed so much, I contributed so much to this project, how come they did not announce my name? Okay, so like that, like I get annoyed. So now, so like that, what is happening is that I have a feeling of a doership, and when results come, that's my results. So usually you see that in among couples, right? What happens whenever our child does very well?
It's my child.
My child, right? When it is when our child does something wrong, we look at our spouse and say, "Do you know what your son did today?" That's how we, right? So basically, what happened is that kartrutva bhavana, right? That the feeling of doership is within us. Now, the thing is that I did not create my body. I did not create any of these materials to do my work. I did not create this Panchamahabhutas. I did not create any world. Okay. So the earth that I am sitting is also created by Ishvara alone. Okay. And when I was born itself, this entire creation is created already. So even in other words, even though I think I am Karta, drop that idea that I am the doer. Because the Karta is Jagat Karta. Jagat Karta means the creator, who has created. Okay, not just the creator alone. The creator, the sustainer, and the dissolver. Okay, all together, right? Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. All of these maintained by that Ishvara, and that Ishvara or the Bhagwan is the final Karta. That is this Karta. Now, when you are remembering Kartru, the original Kartru is remembered, then there itself, the remembrance of God is done in the very first word, Karturu. And Kartura Agneya means by the Agnya, meaning by the command of that Karta, Prapyate Phalam. Phalam means result. So we get results by the command of that Karta. Okay. So because for us, then even from our day-to-day life, if you think about two children studied equally well and they have taken the exam, one got better score than the other. The effort was same, the results are different. One got an admission into an Ivy League, the other one couldn't even get a seat in state college. Effort is same, results are different. 10 people apply to the same job, at least 4 of them are equally qualified and only one of them make it. Effort is same, results are different. So that means whatever I have done, the results are not necessarily in my hands. So Kartu, so who in whose hands the results are? The results are in the one who has created this entire universe, and he is the one who is giving, like who decides what results have to be given when. So why is that? Okay, why is this action gives different results at different times? Okay, so what happens is that actions can give results, but we are saying that Bhagwan is deciding when to give. How is that possible? Is there is a difference, no, not difference, but there is a step between this action and the result. When we perform any action, okay, this is kind of like a subtle thing, okay? This is a kind of subtle thing. Whenever we perform an action, karma is performed, karma phala is created immediately. Meaning result of the action is created. This is, okay, so this immediate result of the action is not manifest yet. Okay? Result is created in an unmanifest form. This result that has been created in an unmanifest form is not there before me performing this action. Are you able to follow? I have performed an action because I have done action, performed this particular action right now. Right now, a result has been created in an unmanifest form. Because it was not there before, but it has happened now, this is called as apurva. Purva means past. Apurva means not in the past. Okay, so that means it has been created right now. This apurva, what is the status of this apurva? That means the result of this action has been created. Now there's no change about this. This is like a, this is ready. It is fully baked product, but it is not coming to effect yet. Now, eventually, when the time is ripe, this karma phala will be given. Until then, this karma phala, which is apurva, stays with us. If my action is a good action, it stays as punya. If my action is a bad action, it stays as papa, but it stays with us. So there is a question of Gandhari. Gandhari is the Kauravas' mom. Kauravas from Mahabharata. After Mahabharata war, all Kauravas were killed and Gandhari gets to meet Lord Krishna and asks Lord Krishna, why did you kill my son? If you have decided, if you have willed, they wouldn't have been killed. Okay? That's what Gandhari asks. So Krishna says, no, I did not kill your children. Neither. Actually, I think either 99 out of 100 or 100 out of 100, all the Kauravas were killed by Bhimasena. Okay. Neither did Bhimasena kill your sons either. Your son, Duryodhana, was killed by himself the moment he asked Draupadi to be brought into the Sabha and be disrobed. So, right then and there, the moment he performed that karma, what karma he did between Duryodhana and Dushasana, he gave the command and Dushasana brought. Okay. But by that action itself, he killed himself. Meaning what happened? This apurva that we are talking about, that was created right then and there. That killing of this Duryodhana in the hands of Bhimasena is settled right then and there. Now, it is a matter of time when this apurva gets executed. You're able to follow this apurva? Okay. Sometimes when we do action, the results come immediately. Right? So I go to a bank, insert my debit card, and I say like I want $100. Assuming that bank is not bankrupt and I have money, as soon as I say give me $100, it gives me $100. Instant reaction. Now, someone puts grass seeds in December. Someone puts grass seeds in April. When does grass seed come out? As in like sprouts.
April.
So even for the one who put it in December, it sprouts in April. Even for one who put the grass seeds in April, it sprouts in April. Why? Because time is right. So in the same way, no matter when we perform action, if that time is not right, the result is created, but it is not yet fructified. That action that is not yet fructified is called as apurva. Okay. Now, Karturagneya prapyate phalam means what? It is Kartru, the final Karta, which is Bhagwan, Ishvara, decides when the time is right for those results to fructify in our life. May it be in this life or a subsequent life. Whether we did a good thing or bad thing, the results will come. That is for sure. Now, what does it mean? It means that from our day-to-day perspective, whether we get results right away, whether we get the right results that we are looking for, well, or not, do not be discouraged. No matter what actions we perform, we will get results for sure. Okay? When they will come, it is up to him. So, if we want good results, we must do good actions and we must be keeping ourselves at it, okay, to continue to perform that action and don't get disheartened by lack of results. And this is a point to be taken. So it is about 8:27. So I'll pause here and check if any of you have any questions. Based on whatever you heard so far.
No questions, Venkatgaru. Just want to acknowledge and thank the Pula family for sponsoring and printing this book written by Guruji. Just wanted to acknowledge both the Pula family.
Thanks, Gopal.
Not you. I didn't say you. I said Pula family. Thank you.
Go ahead, Shobhaji. Question?
No, not as
So
of now.
happens that this book is both of our favorites, and this is one of the first texts that we heard from Puja Swami Shantananda ji. So we have a very close affinity to this text by Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi.
Is this book available at the Mission Center? I have the other books here and other notes. So
This is available through Chinmay Mission. Yeah.
Oh,
It
in
should
my
be available
mission.
in all bookstores. Yes, Chinmay Mission bookstores. Yes.
Okay.
So now the question I have is, Venkatgaru, what is the difference in this text and the Saddarshanam?
Upadesha Sara is a introductory Prakarana Grantha, which is, see, in Prakarana Granthas, you have Shravana based, Manana based, and Nididhyasana based. Meaning Shravana means it is giving some kind of a knowledge. Okay. So that means that something that new information is being given, some kind of, so this Upadesha Sara is essentially giving you information about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and the Yoga Marga also, right? Whereas Saddarshanam is about seeing Sat everywhere. Seeing Sat everywhere means Sat there is, Sat means truth, as in Satchitananda Brahman. Okay, everywhere. The vision of that Satchitananda Brahma all around you. So that is reveling in that Satchitananda. So there, for that, you must have already completed the Shravana portion and at least some partial Manana portion to study the Saddarshanam. And there, no new information is given, rather everything is about reveling in Brahman. That's the primary difference.
Thank you.
So close. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thanks everyone. We'll see you all next Tuesday at the same time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Um,
Thank you.